some reason the thumbnail didn't change. Even though like on the website it changed. Like when I typed in like the real, typed in the correct, let me try to repost the link. Please go onto YouTube and see if it's different there. On my YouTube app. Okay, let's get this place going. Go. Hey Ezekiel. Hey YK. Hey Juan. Herman. Whoa, let me finish my beat. Hey Locus. Got the Reason Rack VST deal from... I did not get anything from Plugin Boutique recently. What was the deal? Like, what was going on with the deal? Okie dokie. So I was doing we had the live stream for the winners of the contest yesterday and stuff like that. You guys already know about that. And there's one guy who had a really cool guitar melody, and I requested that she send me some random guitar stuff that she wants to record, and she sent them to me this morning. And I'm thinking maybe my first melody will be using these guitar melodies that this person sent me. By the way, it was Mazda 7, in case you recognize her. It's a pretty good deal, YK. What exactly is the Reason Rack? Are those plugins from Reason? Okay. I'm trying to think about the Reason plugins. Wait, is Reason the same one that's like... I'm gonna look up Reason real quick. Is Reason? Do I think KV Radio is? I've never even heard of KV Radio. Oh, KVR Audio? Yeah. I like that place. I like that, I like that website. It's pretty nice. Okay, I'm gonna start the whole, let's go thing. Second, let me look up something on the Reason. Oh yeah, I recognize those plugins. Okay. I read. Oh, okay. Yeah, audio. KVR audio. I thought it was KV radio. Anyway, I haven't given them a test run yet, except for the scales and chords utility plugin, but they are a selection of a few plugins from the DAW Reason. Interesting. I will look into that. I really will. Like, I don't really know much about Reason. I'm not sure if like the plugins. Wait, what's up with my microphone? Come on now. Microphone okay? Oh yeah, my microphone's fine. I just don't really know much about Now that I'm looking at Reason, it looks, yeah, the plugins look nice. Sure. Whatever. Back to Cakewalk. I think someone said let's go earlier in the chat. Hey Roku. If I get 8 more people to say type let's go in the chat, I will start early. And I had someone else already say that earlier, so YK said let's go, makes it 7. Locus. While we like kind of sit here, how about we go through some of these samples that this lady sent me, and ones we might want to use for the melody. I've listened to them and they're kind of rough, but I think that'd be kind of fun to some of them are kind of rough, but I think that that they would be fun to like manipulate. Someday you have to make a rap beat. Are you saying that I should rap on a beat? Because I'm planning on doing that today, actually. Let's just listen to these. Those are nice chords. I'm not feeling that stuff though. Maybe come back to that one. Right. I think that one's pretty good. Yeah, very true. There's so many different types of rap. Like, are you talking about trap? Or are you talking about? Because rap is just a style of singing, not really a style of music. I think I'm gonna do that one, even though it's kind of rough. We need more people to start speaking in chat to get the let's go in. So it's 125 beats per minute. That going. How about ugh, my words. How about I manipulate it while we're waiting for people to say let's go in the chat? Or should I just get going even if no one said let's go? Her downbeats are pretty on the beat, but some of her in between notes are a little off. I mean, honestly, I don't really. I understand people like asking, like requesting for different genres of music, but like there aren't very many genres of music that I even listen to. And I understand that that's probably not 100% of a great thing. I probably should listen to more types of music. I don't know. I don't know. How many genres do you tend to make? Do you like to experiment a whole bunch, or are you kind of like me and you just stick with what makes you happy? Hey, Cindy Lee. See you here. So there's this like weird thing. It looks like in the Discord, when I posted my link to the video, it said the thumbnail was like reacting to your beats, which is what I did yesterday. But today's thumbnail is different than that one. Good to see you, Slushy Vex. Yeah, no, it definitely is good to experiment with other genres. It's just, I don't know. I feel like people request so many different genres, expecting that I should be the one who can just fulfill every single request they have. But I'm just like here, like I'm just a random guy on the internet, and I just want to make my favorite music. I'm gonna be making this. I'm making a beat today, using this audio thing that I'm kind of chopping up right now. But we are definitely waiting for people to say, "Let's go." Anyone needs a space? When I pull up, it's a high-speed chase. Okay. We got one from Slushy Vex. We got one from 8-Bit. One from Roku. Hey, Chiatis. If we get one more person to say let's go, we can get going in the chat. What do you mean by copyright strike? Oh, no, by the way, this, I'm just gonna get going. This sample right here was sent to me by one of my subscribers. Her name was Mazda7. There is such a big audio difference. There's definitely quite a few things that are like kind of need to be touched up on this sample. I need to make sure that right here sounds all right. I'm gonna cut. Whoa. I'm gonna cut right here, so. I'm gonna stretch this audio so that it's connecting. Yeah. Yeah, my video does look, my face looks weird in that one. But it get clicks apparently. The thumbnails, maybe it's because of the title and stuff like that. It's kind of a strange, like you don't see very many videos talking about 50 free plugins, so maybe that's why I get so many clicks. But that thumbnail like attracted like it has a really high click-through rate. I probably shouldn't be so particular about this. Let it flow. Actually, that was on time. Congratulations. She's an all-star. On, it's good. Really good at this, actually. I never reuse my thumbnail pics, but I probably could. And I wouldn't be surprised if anyone... I doubt anyone... But I do not reuse. Even though I could, probably. I do have this one giant folder on my computer right now that is just loaded with a whole bunch of thumbnails. I mean, pictures that I can use for my thumbnails. But that folder's actually getting... So basically, a long time ago when I had a really trash camera, I took like 300 pictures. And now I'm kind of like, if I don't have a good picture to use from the relatively good camera, I'll have to use one of those old pictures. It's kind of hard to explain. But right now, the camera I have right now it's a good camera. It's just it literally doesn't even have a feature to record video on it. So I have to do a whole bunch of weird workarounds in order to record audio. Pretty good sample. Let's check right here. Off here. Yep, I'm gonna listen to random beats today. Make sure this one is on time. Let me, instead of stretching it over, I'll move it over. Gotta make sure this one's on time too, goodness. Must be on time. Yeah, it was a little bit sloppy of a playing job, but I respect her just randomly giving it to me. You can if you want to, for sure, Chiatis. I definitely won't require anyone to or ask anyone to. Locus M, yeah, I'm gonna put something on it later. I really want this sample to be as good as possible before I start doing a lot of effecting. I can kind of hear some reverse stuff on it, and obviously some shaper box and just in general. A little early. When I pull up as a high-speed Jace. Just like that. Nice. Let's listen to the whole thing through. Right here we get some problems. Here this first note is on, which it's not. You guys ever do you guys ever chop up samples that people have? Cakewalk is installing. It's the same feeling all over again. Yep. Hey, is the sample of Little Mosey Stuck in a Dream? Huh. No. Well, maybe she copied it. I basically there was someone on the contest who sent in a beat that had. She said that she recorded everything herself, so I just requested if she could send me some recordings that she has of guitar, and just I see if I can make a beat out of them. And this is just one of the recordings she sent me. I guess I really didn't like ask, did you come up with all these melodies by yourself? She could have listened to a song and kind of just learned them. That comes in too early. Do you think it's important to be so particular? I feel like it kind of is. Making sure everything sounds good. I kind of like the feeling of manipulating an actual guitar. So there's this guy who is kind of being pretty like being aggressive, like every beat maker should learn how to play the guitar because you're not a true musician if you don't actually learn how to play an instrument. Something like that. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that it is extremely important in order to be a good beat maker to play an actual instrument? A hiccup here. I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna fade it over. Yeah, but there's like this one girl who was like, or this guy, I guess. I don't really know if he was a girl or guy, but he was like being like super aggressive. Like, I'm gonna call this one aggress. He was being like super aggressive. Like, I was asking like, what are some good guitar VSTs? And he's like, you should never use a guitar VST. Everyone should be learning an actual instrument. You're not a true musician if you don't. And I'm like, calm down. I'm just asking a question. Click right here. I want to make sure all these samples sound as good as possible. So I'm going to fade in again. Yeah, Proud 27 is definitely possible that she just learned a guitar thing and then recorded it to me. It's very possible that she just learned how to play that one song and then sent it to me. I'm not necessarily saying that she made all these by herself. Yeah, and I do agree with that, Zindili. Like, I don't think like I'm not saying that a guitar VST will be as good as playing an actual instrument, but I am saying that I don't know, being so aggressive that you're not a true musician if you don't know an instrument or something like that. I just feel like you're limiting the ways that other people can be creative, just because that you think that. Important. I don't know. Yeah, just like Prod 27 and 8-Bit were saying that can your keyboard as an instrument and stuff like that, you know, a computer keyboard. Okay, we needed this to be upward threshold actually. Okay, wait a second. How am I gonna do that? I want to pull up the high end of this first section. No, I'm just gonna go over here. I'm gonna cut this first section because it's not as high quality as the other ones, because it doesn't have the same like crispy high end to it. Okay, so I'm gonna try to put like a halftime on this or something. Something from Shaverbox. Okay, when is your beat channel coming? Oh yeah. My beat channel is coming as soon as possible. This entire week I've been setting up like graphic stuff for it, like logos, banners, stuff like that. I don't know. Mostly it's because I've been thinking I've been having a logo being my face, you know, like the same face that I use in like my YouTube logo. I think it's a really good logo and I'm going to keep that one for sure. But imagine like in the future I have like a professional looking website. I'm not going to want to just like plaster my face on everything. So I wanted to get some sort of like secondary logo that would still represent who I am, but be something that looks a little bit more professional. I really like that. I really like doing that usually. Let's see what happens if we... I'm gonna put this compressor on it, because compressors sound good when you're using reversing stuff. Reverse the audio. But I'm gonna say like, how about I'm gonna put myself to a time limit, okay? My beat channel will be going by the end of next week. It's like I'm gonna have my first video posted before next week Saturday. Okay, so that means I have to actually get a plan behind how I'm gonna make my videos, and stuff like that. But I'll have it done. And I probably shouldn't be overthinking this kind of thing, but I just want to get this right. Okay, I'm not sure if I like this yet. Tell me if this sounds really, really trash. I'm gonna copy go like this. I'm gonna get drip on this real quick. What do you mean by how do I make my banner? I don't even know if I'm going to be selling my beats. Honestly, this is just an experiment for me to push myself a little bit to the limits. What do you mean by how I make my banner? I use this program called GIMP, which is basically like a free Photoshop, and it works pretty amazing. Yeah, you guys want to see what GIMP looks like? This is what GIMP looks like. I'm opening it right now. It's actually like ridiculously powerful. I do all of my photo editing stuff. Basically it opens like this. You got all of your tools over here. You got your affecting of the tools here. And I can open up some of my thumbnails. Like, let's open up this thing. So there's my beautiful face. That's just how everything works. And there's my layers down there. It's a pretty powerful program. Okay, hello, I'm currently learning Cakewalk by Bandlab, and I have a question. How do you do ghost notes? You know, I was actually just thinking about getting a keyboard out, so why don't I show you? Okay, so I'm gonna get a sound real quick, and then I'll show you how to do that. On my channel, all of my songs will be free for profit. I will not sell them, I just want the subs. Yeah, that is perfectly fine. At some point, I probably will sell, you know? It just kind of makes sense, but not necessary. It's not on my priorities right now. Okay, you should sell your beats. They are amazing. Thanks, Oyena. If I all of a sudden, like, if it is clear in my comment section stuff like that my beats are actually like really good, like people are actually like seriously vibing with them, then it might make more sense, but I don't know. You should sell your beats. Okay, like the Cakewalk, free but powerful. Yeah, exactly. I do it in Illustrator. Cool. Is Illustrator the Adobe one? Adobe Illustrator? Okay, here's how you do the ghost notes. So if you're in your MIDI view like this, if you pull open this little side section, you can actually pull it open by hitting this little double arrow thing. Hit the expand button, and then it opens up this little area. So find the track that you're on. So at the moment I'm using complete control. So I'm gonna right click on complete control, and then hover over scales and choose harmonic minor. And then I can right click on it again and hit enable disable snap to scale. And then it'll open up the scale highlights. And basically what that means is that if you try to place a note on the white lines, it automatically snaps to somewhere else in the scale. So it's kind of helpful. I don't actually know what scale I'm in right now, so I'm just gonna ignore that. Actually, I'm pretty sure the Guitar Melody said what scale I'm in. He didn't write that part down. How much would you sell them for if you did? Okay, I have a question for you guys. Does anyone here sell their beats? I'm pretty sure Prod27 might. How much do you sell your beats for? Have experimented with yeah, you're right, it might actually be A minor because I'm having all white notes so far. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's A minor. Thank you for that, dude. $0 because I got no beats, LOL. Come on, dude, what's up with your no beats? There's nothing hard about making beats as soon as you get the hang of it. Hey Bongonzo, have you experimented with making beats in different types of signatures such as 3/4? I haven't experimented making trap beats in 3/4. I did one time. I did experiment at one time, but I've also experimented making like other genres of beats in 3/4. And 3/4 is really hard to wrap my head around with the drums. It's just really weird. Do I ever have beat block? Yeah, sometimes I do. How do I get around it? I make more beats. I'm at the point where I am so committed to this kind of thing that my creativity is not going to stop me. If you know what I mean. I mean, like, also probably putting time limits on myself. Like, I got to have a video out by the end of this week or something like that. Being able to say, like, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to figure it out until it works. That's a good way to get a beat block. Yeah, it's actually all right for me to make a melodies in 3/4. It's actually not that confusing, but for some reason the drums. Want to choose a different sound? Something that's a little bit more subdued. I mean, I don't know any other better way to describe it, okay? I mean, my creativity is not going to stop me. If I don't feel creative, that's not going to stop me from figuring out how to make a good beat. Ever try Scalar? I have a video coming out soon, whenever I decide to edit the video. That's about like a Scalar alternative that's like free, and it's a pretty fire plugin. I mean, I didn't necessarily call it a Scalar alternative. I just called it as a cool MIDI affecting plugin. I didn't even think about Scalar until after I recorded the video. I'm like, all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second, this plugin is almost identical to Scalar. It's just that they don't have good presets. They don't have as good as presets. So I've never tried Scalar. Maybe I will. Maybe it kind of sounds like a cool plugin. I'm not necessarily certain that I want to spend money on something that I can basically do myself. I can't learn myself to throw more sounds in my drums. I'm so satisfied when it's... Yeah, that's true, 8-bit. Yeah, trap is a lot about the effects you put on your melodies. How do you always come up with a good melody? You practice. Oh, my Scalar alternative is called route chord. Let me look up that real quick. Ripchord. It's kind of confusing to set up in Cakewalk, but I have a video that I already recorded showing you how to do it. I should really get that video edited soon because I think that it could be a really good gem for you guys. If I'm absolutely stuck on beat block, I'll take a sample that either I made or someone else made in the past, and I'll try to affect it. But to be honest, I don't really get beat block very often, because even if I don't feel inspired, I just figure it out. Yeah, true, 8-bit, very true. I checked out Ripchord because of your last stream, and I've never been so cute. Exactly, like it actually took me like almost an hour to figure out how to set it up in Cakewalk, because the YouTube videos that I looked up in tutorials are so garbage. Like, how can you be possibly more confusing? Because there's no like just straight answer in those tutorials. All the tutorials out there are like, okay, so assuming you already have this and 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 this, all I have to do is this and this. And I'm like, first of all, I didn't understand any of those words. And second of all, I don't have any of those things that you assume I already have. Yeah, true. In my video, I'm planning on giving away a whole bunch of free ripcord presets because I was kind of upset that there were no free options. Everything is paid. So basically what I was doing I spent like an entire afternoon and I was just like making melodies. And then after I finished the melody, I would cut the melody up and put it into ripcord, and then I was going to put it in a sample pack to give away. Yeah, I should probably edit that video as soon as possible. Well, the thing is, MP3, the minor scale is just how you think about it. Because a minor scale really is a major scale. And it's whatever, like 6th up version. If you start an A minor scale on the C chord, you're probably going to end up with a major sounding plugin. Really not feeling the 808 pattern. So basic. Huh, interesting, Liam. Interesting. I didn't know there were gonna be problems. Oh, we got some gliding on here. Start an A, let's end on A. Flat to then I'm gonna slide on this note too. And then why don't we go, so there's an E, let's go from an octave E. Speaking of, I'm not sure, wait, oh, that's why, E flat to, this is actually E natural. That could have been bad. I'm gonna go down an octave. Yeah, you can glide in Cakewalk with Bandlab. You have to just go, you have to hit this little little settings cogwheel here. Change polyphonic from 8 to legato, and then turn up the little glide knob here. Yep. Slides and cable control. Hey, is this app paid or free? Cakewalk is free. This plugin right here is free. Actually, so far I've actually made my entire beat. Oh no, I was gonna say only using free plugins, but I also put the drip plugin on there, which is $50. How do you know which 808 is good to slide with? So I found these root notes down here. These are all the root notes. This note is a random note that I know is in the scale because we're in A minor and that's a C. And I was going from a G to a C, which is a pretty common interval. It's a fifth. Sounds nice. But I know that was going to sound all right because it's just a fifth and both the notes are in the scale. Everything else is actually an octave. So I'm going from E to an E. I'm going from A to an A. I'm going from an E to an E. I mean, I'm not saying that you have to go from octaves, but I'm saying that everything sounds all right in my case because I'm doing octaves. I open Scalar through my program called VIP that holds my synths. It's a workaround. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, exactly. It's all by ear. You're right, CLB. Once you already know the root notes of your chords, and you like for example, this fifth here, I didn't necessarily think in my head, oh, it's a fifth up, so it should be fine. But I'm just trying to rationalize what my ear was thinking. Because my ear played the C in and I'm like, oh, that sounds good. But now that I look at that, it makes sense that it would sound good because it's the fifth and both notes are in the scale and everything should be fine. Do you guys think this melody's all right? Or should it be improved on? So for my 808, for my kick drum patterns, I'm gonna just delete all of these rolling notes. I mean the gliding notes. And then using my crazy trick I just showed off, I can transpose things super quick and easy. If you guys don't know how to do this, it's one of the most useful videos I've ever made. That came out this past Tuesday. I feel like that was one of those videos that was like, I made it not because the algorithm, not because of any particular thing, just I realized that it's such a useful thing and I need everyone to know about it as soon as possible. In all reality, it didn't actually perform very well. Sheesh. Okay, so I also have a question. What do you guys think about pitching your kick drum? What do you think about that? Is that a good idea? Is that a bad idea? I feel like I've asked a lot of controversial questions recently because I was reading the comment section. I'm like, wow, you guys really don't like pitching your kick drums. Or at least a couple of you guys don't. I don't think it needs to be pitched right now, but I'm gonna try to do this. I feel like that actually helps. If we listen to it before and after, listen to before. and then after. In this case, the difference is very, very, very small. So I think I'm actually just gonna not do it in this one. But every once in a while, I'll come across to a beat that's like let's say this 808 starts like, let's say the 808 pattern looks something like this. It's like starts up and then it plays a couple notes, and then it starts up and then it plays a couple notes. Obviously, they would be on the grid, and obviously they wouldn't be so random. But as you see, like there's like a big difference between these two. What I realize is that sometimes if I have the kick drum playing on the same kick as like that 808, the kick drum won't sound punchy. But then when it's playing on the same note as this one, it's sounding punchy. And then when it plays this one, it sounds not punchy. When it sounds on this one, it sounds punchy again. So then what I do is I just pitch up my kick drum by like 2 semitones, and then all of a sudden it sounds punchy again. I'm just like, if I want to keep my kick drum punchy, it would be ideal to be able to pitch my kick drum a little bit. Rayford, do you ever sidechain my kick to my 808? Not often, unless I feel like it needs to. Like if I want to clean up some low end stuff, I think I might sometimes, but really not often. I usually sidechain my kick drum into my melody, but not my kick drum into my 808. Where was that kit I picked up a couple days ago? This Hydra drum kit was recommended by Holy. Got some nice snares in here. And it's a free kit, by the way. Second, let me cook. I'm actually going to pitch up those notes. I really do think that that's a lot more punchy. I didn't choose I wonder if I can go like this. Make sure this turns into an 8-bar loop. I want to make sure that I have an 8-bar loop. you think that's fire good? Do you think that's good or no? See what happens if I pitch it up an octave. Or if this, I wonder if this actually sounds good. Can't really tell. How many perks do you usually put in one beat? There's no certain number. If you're talking about different perks, like how many perk tracks they usually have, I usually have 2 to 3 perk tracks. You can definitely get away with having like 1. How many perks in general? I don't really know. Maybe 5 hits per track. But if I have like 4 tracks, I'm not gonna have 5 on each because that'd be way too many sounds. How many beats do you usually make in a day? Yeah, true. Maybe that'll be good for a verse. How many beats do I usually make in a day? I have no idea. How many do I finish in a day? Well, it's actually kind of strange. What I do is I'll have some days where I just cook up random beats and I'll just like put them all in a folder and I'll come back to them later. And then the next day I'll take a whole bunch of beats out of that folder, polish them up, and then export the stems. And then I'll do that for like 4 beats in one day. And then maybe another day I'll just sit there and I'll mix like 6 different beats and I'll just finish all those 6 beats in one day. I'm not necessarily like sitting down, writing it, arranging it, mixing it, exporting it all in one day. It's usually over the course of a couple days. But I do so many, it's like I'll do like 5 beat making sessions a day. And the next day I'll like export 5 beats, and the next day I space everything out kind of, but it all comes together at the end to maybe a point of 2 full beats finished. Think of it as like 14 beats finished a week. Think of it that way. MV, I'm doing my random beats after this beat is over. Now think about it, I actually kind of like that. I like the halftime thing better. Maybe that lower octave can be the verse and the higher octave can be the... That can be like the drop. I wonder what it sounds like if I go like this, 1 more octave up. Yeah. Okay, that guitar sounds bad now, so let's see if we can translate just the MIDI up. Ringtone beats. I asked one of my subscribers to send me a guitar thing, and they did, and I'm just flipping their guitar sample. So this is what the original guitar sounded like. Wait, I have a... That's what they sent me. Here's what I have right now. Yeah, a couple weeks ago, I think it was like last week or something like that, I actually spent a long time just making samples. And then later in the week or the next week or some other time, I'd flip them. And it was really, really fun. Hey, ID Beats, by the way. Hey, dude, I didn't mention your name, but I saw your comment. Do you guys have any advice for hi-hat midis? Like how to make them? I feel like I'm the one in front of the microphone, but really you guys should be doing the talking because you guys are so good in a lot of situations. Like that's why I asked so many, like, do you have any advice on panning or something like that on my like, whatever we call that, like my community tab. Like I want to get you guys' input because you guys have such good ideas, and sometimes you guys give me more gems than you give me, than I give you, I mean. Oh, good point, Rayford Reed. That's kind of the reason I'm also thinking about doing my YouTube channel. Because as you can see, like I post like one album a month, and no, I post one album every like 2 weeks, and I only have like 10 songs on the album, which means quite a bit get cut. Quite a few songs get cut. I don't know, maybe 16 songs of those just never get released. And I think that's perfectly fine. I'm content with the quality of my album, stuff like that, but I feel like just having a YouTube channel in general might be able to say like, hey, if you guys are really into the stuff I make, you can go into this YouTube channel and you can see literally everything. Because like personally, I'm in the opinion that I would rather make. Now I would say that I feel like the reason things get cut so much is because I'm so picky. Because like the thing is like I can go on like one little streak where I learn so much in such a short amount of time that all of a sudden like the beats that I was making last week sound cringe compared to the stuff I'm making this week. Like I go on those little like quick little spurts, and I'm sure everyone does that. But what I'm saying is more or less that sometimes what I'll do is I'll learn a new style, or I'll add a new kind of style into my beat making sessions, and then all of a sudden the beats that I make last week are basically irrelevant because I just don't think they're good enough. Like this one, for example, like I've been doing so many reversing melodies recently, and there's reversing in that melody too. I've been doing so many reversing melodies, and they sound so fire in my opinion that right now, at least, if there was a song on my desktop that I was considering putting in my next album, I might not put it in my next album simply because it doesn't have a reversing kind of melody in it. Never heard that before. Read. Playing my hi-hats with the 808. With the kick drum. And how fast should the hi-hats be? You know, I'm not going to say I don't want to try FL Studio, but I don't think that I want to switch over to FL Studio. But I definitely want to try it. I tried Ableton a couple of weeks ago on my cousin's computer. It's like, it's one of those weird things that like, I knew that he was sort of musical. My cousin was sort of musical. But then like I see him for the first time in like 3 years, and then I walk into his bedroom, and his bedroom is just like covered in music stuff. It's like his bedroom definitely reminds me of like just me and all the music stuff I want to be doing. But then he like just he walks me over to the computer, and he's like, yeah, so I've been using Ableton for the past like 2 months, and I'm like, no way, dude. Like we're almost identical in our things that we like to do. Yeah, Skyline Dehandiar, whatever your name is. Get complete control. I literally have a video called "How to Pitch 808s and Hi-Hats in Cakewalk" by Bandlab. And basically I just talk about why you should be using complete control, and I also talk about exactly how to install it. So just watch my video called "How to Pitch 808s and Hi-Hats in Cakewalk by Bandlab," and that video will show you literally every single step. So I tried Ableton, and it's definitely good. It's definitely pretty nice. I'm not planning on switching. Yeah, exactly. Complete control only uses one sample at a time, but Scylla sampler is like as if you're doing one of those like MPC kind of drum things, and there's like one square per sample, and that works. I mean, like it's one of those things that like you don't necessarily have to pitch your hi-hats, but nowadays we're getting to a kind of a time where pitching hi-hats is almost like obvious, and like every beat does that. Wow, Cakewalk is CPU intensive for you? Cakewalk is nothing for me. I actually never heard anyone say that Cakewalk was CPU intensive. I've never heard someone say that before. I mean, actually, I've heard people say that their computers are trash, but maybe you're right. Maybe there is something to be said about. I wonder if they were to use another DAW, if they would still have a trash PC. I guess I never considered asking them. So they said that their CPU, their computer was trash, so I just assumed that the computer was the fault. I didn't know you could change the color scheme on Ableton. I did not know that. But I feel like it's one of those things, like, especially if you're doing like, especially if you're doing like tutorials online, you'd want your background to be like the default. You want to make sure that other people are confused or something like that. Maybe I'm overthinking things. Okay, so guys, did you see the video I posted yesterday? Like all the reactions to the beats? Because if you did, you probably knew that like the winner beat was like insane. I was telling Home Studio Simplified, who's giving away the free mixing, like the person who wins the competition gets a free mix and master by him. And I'm like, dude, you better get ready, because that Luca guy who sent in the really crazy beat that was in like 4 different genres, like, it's gonna be a pain to mix anything from him. Like, he's like a really crazy producer, and it's just gonna be like, I mean, it's probably not gonna be a pain because Luca probably knows what he's doing. Luca probably has really high quality stuff that's going in. So, but like, I wouldn't want to open up a random file and then see like 75 tracks and say, okay, mix this, and it's like, what genre is this in? Yes. Yep. We were debating about this like online this like website who was talking about which are the best DAWs, and Cakewalk was rated the best free ones, and we were proud about it being the best free one for sure. But we were kind of talking about how, and I probably already talked about this earlier in a different stream, that they were not only talking about how good the DAW was, but they're also talking about how good the other stuff that came along with the DAW was. And I feel, and we all kind of agreed that that is where Cakewalk is lacking the most. The DAW itself is actually really, really good. You know, it has like the Pro channel, it has the console view, it has like the MIDI view, it has this little sidebar over here, it has your plugins window. Everything is working really nice in Cakewalk and Bandlab. The one major problem is the fact that it has a very small user base, and also the fact that it doesn't come with a lot of stock sounds. And I'm like, you know, I'd say that's probably the reason it is lacking the most. I mean, of course, like, Cakewalk is free, so how is it supposed to be able to compete with the stock things that come in, like FL Studio, for example? Like, FL Studio comes with a whole bunch of great reverbs and EQs and all that stuff, but that's because it has a good budget behind it. I'm not really sure how big of a budget Cakewalk has. I know that they're doing lots of updates and stuff like that, but the biggest update they did recently was this arranger tool, which this arranger tool is actually really awesome. Like, I don't actually know very many DAWs who even have that tool, but it is only a little bit of coding. It's not like a whole entire, like, it would only take like one person maybe like 2 weeks to figure out how to do that. It wouldn't, but if you're talking about how to make an entire plugin, it would probably take a team of people for several weeks to figure out how to make a good plugin. And then considering the fact that FL Studio has like 60 built-in plugins, like, FL Studio definitely has an advantage there, because not only are you buying the DAW, but you're buying everything that comes along with the DAW. Um, what do you guys think about the future of Cakewalk? Because so far I haven't had any impression that there's anything that's gonna happen to Cakewalk. But I kind of feel like if Cakewalk monetized themselves in some way, that they would be able to grow faster. Let me read these comments. Cakewalk used to be one of the most expensive DAWs before it was discontinued. Yeah, it used to be called Sonar X or something like that, Sonar something, and it was very expensive, like $600. But then the company that owned Sonar went out of business, and then a different company bought Sonar and called it Cakewalk. That's Cakewalk by Bandlabs. The original has everything you need. Yeah, the original I think had a lot more plugins that got discontinued when they turned into the free version. I like Trashing because every single work window, the DAW is on. Oh, that'd be really painful for me, I feel like. I really, really like switching views. I think that it's the most efficient way. Because, like, I mean, I guess, like, you could go like this. You could go like this, and you could have, like, the main arrangement view and the console view down here. But I'm thinking, like, I really like this console view. I think the console view is amazing, and I would be disappointed if I was in a DAW that didn't have a console view. I know FL Studio does, but anyway, like I wouldn't want to mix my beats using this little side thing. I really wouldn't. It's just really inefficient. But what am I saying? What am I even saying? I forgot. Yeah, I mean, like I wouldn't want this thing to be open all the time. But I also like to use the entire thing because there's like the Pro channel here, there's the EQ here, there's the gain up here. Everything is in its place. And I feel like being able to toggle between this view and this view is so much easier than having things small and crunched together in a small area. 300 you said? I literally was talking with Home Studio Simplified and he said that he paid $600 for Cakewalk. I mean Sonar. Like 3 months before I got discontinued. Like he literally told me $600. He was buying Cakewalk and audio interface or whatever. I don't know. I think it's going to blow up and then Bandlab might start charging for it. Possibly. I think that they should have someone come in and talk about what is essential and what is not essential. Because I would say that there are quite a few buttons on here that just probably don't. I think there are things on here that are just kind of like overkill. Like I wish that you could make these little strips like much. Like you can narrow them, but I feel like that's just too narrow. But I think that there should be a way that you can make them. I don't think that looks very nice, but I think that there should be a way to make things actually look nice and very narrow. I think that things are just kind of overboard. Like what if you made this, could you make these bars here smaller? Could you just make things fit a little bit nicer? Know what I mean? Like I think that the user interface is kind of confusing for a beginner if you don't know what you're looking for. What do you mean by sell the sound? Sell plugins? Hey, no, be green. Oh, that's weird, Rayford. Try the theme editor. Yeah, you can customize the colors using the theme editor. But personally, I think these colors are absolutely fantastic. Everything goes together so nicely. I don't think it's the colors that are the problem. I didn't actually know that other DAWs sell sample packs. I think that's actually kind of a strange idea to do. Why can't a random person sell sample packs instead of a DAW? When I'm done with this, when I'm done with my 8-bar loop, I will review people's songs. Actually, right now. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go and submit your beats to bongonzoyt@gmail.com, and then when I'm done with this little 8-bar loop, then we'll review your stuff. So I announced this morning that I was gonna do a stream, and then as soon as I announced that, ClickSeef actually sent me one of his beats. He wasn't even in tune. That's ridiculous. But you're right. Cakewalk could probably monetize in other ways and keep their DAW free. That is a good idea. Mind tempo. But I do think they need to start monetizing Cakewalk in some way. I mean, I wish they didn't have to. You know, I wish that somehow they had a huge budget and they could just throw money at us for free. But I do understand that they are a company, and that if they don't actually start monetizing Cakewalk itself, they're going to run out of... They're not going to have the same steam. For example, because what they're doing right now is they're taking money from other revenues of their company, and they're using their extra money and putting it into Cakewalk. But I feel like if they don't monetize in some sort of way, they're going to realize that it's not as much of an investment as they thought it was going to be. And they realize that they're kind of just like wasting money, if you know what I mean. I don't understand how Cakewalk being free is helping them, if you know what I mean. I personally don't really care much about Bandlab. I mean, I think Cakewalk is great, but I'm not really a huge fan of Bandlab. I don't really know anything about them. I was saying they should redesign the GUI to make it a little more in the beat maker favor and add sound library and sell it. Okay. Yeah, like I know what you mean by sound libraries now. Some online DAWs do that. Exactly, mind tempo. What was I gonna say? Yeah, but the thing is about making it like a beat maker kind of thing is that Cakewalk has been around for so long that actually the beat maker community is the minority in terms of who uses Cakewalk. It's actually a lot of there's a lot of people out there who make like country songs and like, you know, like acoustic kind of songs and like that. They could, I don't know if they made like a, like they can't restrict themselves to one genre because there's so many different genres that are part of that. Like, for example, I would kind of say, and you guys can argue something like that, but FL Studio has kind of lended itself to be best for electronic producers, trap producers, drill, like hip hop stuff in general, they aren't really looking for country singers. They're not really looking for those kind of people. And therefore, like they're not, I don't know. I feel like when I'm thinking of a country singer or something like that, I'm thinking of Pro Tools, or I'm thinking of Ableton or something like that, or even Cakewalk. And I'm not necessarily saying just country, but FL Studio has made it has like the step sequencer, it has the sound selections, like the samplers built in and stuff like that. Exactly, Pirate Beats. Yeah. Definitely. But Cakewalk has actually Cakewalk definitely started as, and it still is very useful for people who are recording audio. It's like that. So do I think that your idea right there is a bad? I don't think that Cakewalk is able to pivot so sharply, because I think that if they were going to switch into a different genre, like they're going to limit themselves to one genre, then they would lose a lot of their audience. Okay, I'm going to transpose this down by a couple things, and while that's rendering, which it wouldn't take long really, but I'm going to check out some of your guys' beats. Mazda sent in a beat, no problem. Clickseef. Are you here, Clickseef? If you are, I will check out your beat. By the way, check out my album Cut on Apple Music. Anyway, random beats. Like I said yesterday, I'm 16, an Indian producer who started producing last month, and it would be cool if you checked out some of my beats. I'm sending 2 right now. I use FL Studio Trial. One. The hi-hat is super loud. I like your drum producing. I like your drum stuff in general. I feel like this melody is very weak, and then when I actually hit that drop right there, it didn't really feel satisfying at all. It's almost like you copy and pasted 2 sections over, and then that giant riser was supposed to like add intensity, but then when you actually like landed on the next section, you added some drums in, but it didn't really seem like, I don't know, it just sounds like the melody is kind of weak. Also, there should be some sort of bass, I feel like. And by the way, mine tempo beats. What I'm saying about limiting to one genre is I'm saying that if you sell beats, if you sell sample packs, I don't think country singers use many sample packs. I don't think that acoustic rock bands use many sample packs. I think that they record a lot of things live. So trying to add a whole section that makes you want to buy sounds and stuff like that would be kind of weird, because it's only they would really only for music, because that's the only genre of music that actually sells sample packs. And also, here's another problem. Cakewalk is already giving away a whole bunch of free sample packs. So would they have another section where they give out free, like get out paid sample packs? I can barely tell what that bass is doing. It doesn't really sound like it's on the right notes. It also doesn't really sound like it's on notes in general. I really respect all the instruments you have there. It definitely sounds like the stuff I made when I was first starting. I don't really know what to say. I mean, it just takes practice. How many months have you spent? How many months have you been making music? Last month. This is actually pretty impressive for last month. You check out my first beat. It is absolute garbage. Listen to this one. Okay, this sounds pretty professional actually. It sounds pretty nice actually. If a good producer had a sample like this, they would actually do something crazy out of it. We're gonna have to see, since you only have a little bit of experience, let's see what you do with it. Okay, this beat is much better, much better. I don't think that thing should be like the anchor of your beat. I think that it should be something that you bring in every once in a while for like an intro or a verse. It doesn't really seem like a good kind of melody kind of sound. But I do like how you did that riser. It actually kind of sounded like you landed somewhere, which is much better than the last beat. Also, let me just listen to the bass. Besides your bass, which I can't really understand what happens with the bass in this beat, I'm not really sure what's going on there. It seems like it's moving all over the place, and it also doesn't seem like it's really on a tone. I think there might be like reverb down there or something like that. It sounds pretty muddy down your bass section. Anyway, what I'm saying is, I will say that everything's in tune, everything's in the right key, and I also will say that it is relatively actually like interesting melodies. I feel like especially when I started, or especially when other people started, I already had a little bit of experience with like other instruments, so I kind of understood how to keep everything in the same key. But I do hear a lot of people who will just have like a whole bunch of random instruments and a whole bunch of random keys, and that's the first thing that I feel like people need to work on. But it seems like you really have that down. You understand what kind of things go together. You understand what sounds go together. Besides your bass needing work, and besides just practicing your melodies in general, you understand how melodies work. It's just that you haven't really gotten the experience necessary to actually make solid melodies that are catchy and rememberable and stuff like that. But it sounds like you should definitely keep going because you actually have potential. That's what I'm going to say. Just keep going. Good job, MV. AC Beats.
You got me shivering.
I like that for sure. I really like that. Sorry I wasn't talking at all. For some reason I was distracted. The guitar melody is good for sure, and all the drums sound pretty clean together. I think that with a rapper you could really tell where the beat is shining. But other than that, I feel like this is a good beat. Head a little bit. yeah, Roku is really right. I like those Olman hats for sure. I also like your melody. Definitely, you definitely know what you're doing. You definitely have everything sounding clean. Everything sounds good together. I like how you. It sounds like you have a little bit of soft clipper on the master, and that sounds really, really good. I'm gonna check out this beat right here. That melody is really, really awesome. It's really, really like all over the place, and it sounds really cool. A lot of reverse stuff in there. Your drums come in really nicely. I like how your 808s are like leveled and stuff like that. Yeah, it's really, really good. Yeah, this beat is really, really, really good. I don't really have much to say to critique that at all. Icy Beats, have you gotten a rapper on your beats, or have you ever Yep, as you can see in this little bottom section. Oh shoot, I opened Discord. I have submit your beats to bongonzo@yt@gmail.com. You guys can send beats if you want. I don't know if you sold your beat to anyone yet, Icy Beats, or even if you are selling, I'm not sure. I think it's just a matter of time before a rapper really hops on one of your beats. You definitely know what you're doing. Hargon. This is an official song I want you to listen to. Oh, you didn't produce it. Should I listen to it? Should I risk getting copyrighted? Fine, whatever, I'll listen to it. I'm not necessarily saying get a placement, but like, no, random rapper. Just hearing what they do on your kind of beats. I'm just wondering, like, I wonder if there's something to be said about literally just hitting up rappers. Not saying I'm going to sell you this beat. I just want to say, like, hey, could you rap on this beat and see what happens? Like, I'm not sure if a rapper would be okay with that, or if they would be fine with just sending you a song that they finished. But I don't know. I feel like I'd really want to hear what people sound like when they rap on beats. You know what I mean? Okay, anyway. This isn't from Hargon. This is from Worlds of Music. It's not a song by him. I'm a brown boy. Really interesting, really interesting. I can't understand their words at all, but I like the music for sure. The melody is pretty cool. I wouldn't have thought about using that snare, but maybe that's just because we're in America and they're in a different country. The snare actually works. The snare actually works for sure, but I never would have thought of, if I was making this beat myself, I wouldn't have even thought about using that kind of snare. I mean, to be honest, a lot of these elements sound similar to our kind of trap beats. It's just kind of the rappers who are different. I like how the bass is so like elongated and just like I actually really like this beat. This is actually some interesting, like, personally I wish I could understand what they were saying, but to a certain extent I kind of like this more than some things that I've actually listened to, like on Spotify and stuff like that. I like that flute. I'm actually a big fan of that one. Oh, we got a lot of stuff now. Okay, let's see. Ace Tunez. Last song is Ace Tunez. We're not accepting any more after Ace Tunez. Mind Tempo. Here we go. Alrighty. It's kind of strange. Okay, I'm not a humongous fan of that beat. I don't know, maybe a rapper would actually work on that kind of beat. I wish there was more of a kick drum and like actual bass in there. Does the bass come in later? Or is it just that snare? I mean, I guess there are plenty of beats out there who just don't have kicks and 808s and just kind of stay really chill the entire song. There are plenty of songs I like that, to be honest. I guess I shouldn't say that. You have to have that. I mean, I guess there's really nothing wrong with it. Just really not my style. I'm gonna say good job. It doesn't sound bad. There's nothing bad in there that sounds like poorly mixed. I feel like maybe if you had just like a sub bass, like a really subby bass, or maybe like just a kind of a Moog synth bass or a Moog synth bass or whatever you call that, you can maybe just kind of like think about how that would kind of work on that. This is dancehall. This is dancehall. I definitely know what dance hall beats sound like, and this is just kind of a weak version of what I would expect. Let me look up dance hall. I've heard plenty of... What's up? Stop loading. No?
The massive club hit, Who Am I? And more.
Who got the keys to my bima? Who am I? The girls them sugar.
It's unsurpassed in the annals of dancehall.
When we move, come back, I'm gonna take a...
Whatever. Okay. I guess maybe it's... I guess that makes sense. I think... Whoa. I think it needs some sort of bass in there. I don't know. I'm just gonna pass on that. It's not... I don't recognize it. I don't recognize the style. As a producer, should I distribute my beats onto all platforms? Yeah, I think you should. I do that. DistroKid is what I use, and it's amazing, and it's really... Sorry for my weird sound. Anyway, let's listen. Okay. Sorry, I was reading the chat and I was making weird sounds. Here are two of my beats. Choose whatever which you want. Here we go. Stacks. Yeah, I'm thinking here, this no samples thing. You explained to me why you have the no samples thing, but I think if you look at all of the other best producers out there, I don't think this no samples thing should be in your title. I doubt it attracts rappers. And I feel like if a rapper was serious about producing this song onto like an album or something like that, they would contact you to see if there's any samples. I don't think that this no samples thing has to be in the title.
Rayford Reed.
Can't tell if this is your drop or not, because it doesn't really sound that intense or that exciting compared to the melody. Like the melody sounds intense, but the drums are very, very quiet or subdued or something like that. Was that your drop right there?
Rayford Reed.
I feel like if you made that kick drum much, much louder, made the 808 a little bit less muddy, and you kind of just had some more pumping in the kick drum, that would have really really accentuated the drop. Because right now, like the intro flowed right into the melody, right into the drop, and I didn't even notice the drop happened. This is like kind of building up into the drop.
Rayford Reed.
Yeah, those kick drums and 808s and the snare are way too quiet. It feels really, really chill, but the melody sounds really, really intense. Especially when you cut out the hi-hats. When you cut out the hi-hats with the 808 being so soft, it sounds like you're just trying to give a little bit of variation to the intro. It doesn't really sound like you're dropping to a drop.
Rayford Reed.
Also, I feel like there should have been some sort of transition between the visuals on this video. Like, watch how the visuals like just hard cut.
Rayford.
That should have been fixed. Anyway, I'm nitpicking on stuff that doesn't even have to do with music. Rayford, would you like to upload a remaster of this? Yeah, I think that beat could be remixed, and that would be much, much better. Let's listen to this one, see if it's mixed a bit better. To be honest, there's nothing wrong with that beat. I actually like that melody. Those drums sounded fine. Just really, 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 really softly mixed.
Rayford Reed.
Is that your drop too? Because it feels like a building up into the intro. Builds up intro.
Rayford Reed.
Yeah, I like your melodies, to be honest. Actually, everything's actually sounding pretty good in there. That there needs to be a little bit more going on with the mixing of the drums. I trust you, Rocco. Alrighty. Like that kick drum. I feel like there's a little bit of low in the piano that could be cut out to make room for the 808. Yeah, the beat is fine. it kind of sounds simple, and I don't know what to say. I think a rapper would be fine on this. It just needs to be a little bit more practice in the music making stuff. I know you know what you're doing. It's mixed pretty well. I don't know. Your hi-hats, I don't necessarily know if your hi-hats need to be improved. You know, simple two-step isn't always horrible, but yeah, maybe a little bit more mixing. Vibe is cool. Vibe is definitely cool. I'm not really sure what all this dangerous stuff is. CLB production. Here we go. I like this melody so far. Really, really, really good. Melodies all over the place. Besides your clap right there, that kind of sounds like a built-up EDM kind of clap. I feel like the clap is a little bit different. That this would sound really, really cool. I mean, it sounds really cool. I just wouldn't have chosen that clap. I think your kick drum and 808 go well with the melody. The melody is kind of fast and hard, and the kick drum and 808 are fast and hard. Everything's sounding pretty good together. Yeah, it's definitely good melody. I like to try to give some critique and things some people can improve on, but sometimes I feel like if I try to critique something that is already really good, I just kind of make them feel bad. Like there's nothing wrong with that beat, and I think that beat is really, really good. I'm not going to try to tell you that there's something that you should try to fix, because you definitely know what you're doing, and someone who can make a beat like that can probably understand what they can improve on if there's another beat later. So what I'm basically just saying is that just keep working on it. Like, you know what you're doing. I'm not saying that your beat is bad. I'm just saying that you definitely have potential. So don't give up on anything. If you know what I mean. I personally would have changed the clap, but it's not really anything bad. But good job, CLB. I'm not checking out Gabriel's beat because I already said the Ace Tunes was going to be the last one. Lexa. Okay. The 808 is very out of tune. It really pains me when I like cringe, like, because like there's a beat that's good in every single situation, it's good except for the 808, and it's like I guess I can kind of understand why it's hard for beginners to understand how to get the 808 working, but it really bothers me. It really bothers me how many beats are completely disqualified immediately as soon as I listen to them because they immediately have a bad 808. The 808 is very out of tune. Something I can do to critique your beat that would fix that. Yeah, I like the sides of the 808 in theory, but I can't really tell if they're good or not because they're out of key. Melody and stuff like that. That was really, really good. What do you mean by that, iconic? Besides the fact that the 808's out of tune, it's actually really cool beats. Everything else seems to be mixed really well. Let's try this beat, see how it goes. Oh, rip. It's not playing. What do you mean by that, iconic? What do you mean by you should be thinking that you're the best, or you can think that you're average, or you can think that you're below average? I'm not really sure what you mean. Yeah, there we go. There you go. The 808's good in that one. I feel like the 808's a little bit loud, but can you please explain to me, iconic, what you mean by that? The melody's really fire. Your drums are definitely good. I feel like your 808's a little bit loud, but everything about that is... Whoa. Microphone is falling. Yeah, you're definitely a good producer. Who's this? Lexa. Definitely really good. I really like how you change your melody up quite a few. Your drums are also very clean. Everything sounds really, really well mixed and everything. Except for the 808. It was a little bit louder than that last beat, I felt like. But anyway, here to listen to this one. Okay, let me read that comment about different situations require different mindsets in order to help either grow, develop, or not give up. I feel like there's something to be said about not listening to the positive or the negative feedback. Thinking, like, if you know what I mean, like, I guess, like, you're not actually, now I think about it, you're not necessarily saying that the person is listening to feedback in general. I think that they're just listening to themselves and what they think about themselves. Never mind. I think that I can stand behind that. Having 3 different mindsets for how they can improve. Yeah, I can agree with that. I was kind of thinking about you should, like, think about what other people think about you, but I agree with what you say now. Okay. Alrighty. I was not expecting that chord to come in. I'm pretty sure the chord is fine, but it sounds kind of cool that you have like that kind of synth in here. I wasn't expecting a synth in general. Anyway. That's really, really cool. So at first I was thinking that things are out of key, but now that I'm listening to this more fully, I feel like you're really intentionally taking advantage of the whole tone scale. I think you are. The whole tone scale, I think I am. Yeah, this is really good. This is actually really, really cool. What do you mean by collab with my friends? I don't have any music people who in real life who make music. But I do collab with quite a few people on my Discord servers like that. Yeah, A's always has good mixes. really like that, dude. A beat from an album I'm working on. That is awesome. I actually really like that. Really good job, Ace Tunas. Excellent work there. I wasn't gonna listen to Gabriel because I said that was gonna be the last critique I was gonna do. All right, that's actually a pretty good beat. Let's go into the next one. Here we go. When you think of yourself as someone who below average, you tend to be more open to criticism. That's the mindset someone should have when someone gives a constructive criticism. You know? Yeah, and I do think that there is something also to be said about there are plenty of people who we meet in real life in these live streams when we're doing like beat critiques that always think that they're above average, you know, and I've been in this kind of spot too, where I kind of have a little bit of an ego, saying like, hey, don't criticize me because I understand what I'm doing. But there is something to be said about how, if you're not open to criticism, how are you supposed to grow? I understand what you mean, Iconic. Yeah, Icy Beats, hit me up in the emails, and I will totally, you know, since 8-Bit is a subscriber of mine, and good together, I'm gonna check out his thing. I hope I subscribed to you. I'm pretty sure I did. I need to find you. His newest song, you probably. Last beat. This is about last beat critique. Is this a song that we were doing on the live stream? Were you doing this on a live stream? Because it sounds very familiar to me. Oh, that was my voice. Was that my voice? I can't really tell. It sounded like so. I can't actually really tell what he's saying. Gabriel, I will be doing more beat critiques during the stream. The stream will still go on for like maybe an hour and a half more. I'm not a huge fan of that. It's kind of loud in my opinion, but the speed is definitely pretty good. It's definitely mixed well. Yeah, good job. There's nothing really I can say to that. Nothing really I can say to that. It sounds pretty nice. I like your thumbnails. You definitely have a style there. Keep working on it, dude. You have something there. You have something there. Keep working on your stuff. Your YouTube channel in general. Okie dokie. Let's see. Why don't we start with labs? Because if you guys didn't know, 8-Bit has been doing quite a few live streams recently. during those live streams, he has been just showing off his insane piano skills. Piano skills that I can never match up to. And he's been using a lot of labs. Turn the velocity down on those. Yeah, I'd say if there's any instrument of my that I could go, like I could be like really, really, really good at, I would say it would be bass. Like if for some reason I want, if I wanted to get good enough to like be professional, that would be the only instrument that I can really conceivably see myself being on a true band doing. Velocity sensitivity on this thing is ridiculous. Could you send me that link to that website, 8-bit? I don't have Twitter or anything. I'm gonna do some of the translate down an octave, and then I'm gonna use this shortcut to translate up an octave and copy it. Never mind. I'm just gonna... copy these notes up an octave. Something weird. Sounding weird. Okay, I'm vibing with this. What does it sound like what if it sound like copied up an octave? Too much. Okay, I'm gonna add drip onto this. What is a plugin recently that you guys found that you really, really loved and you're like, wow, this is a game changer? Have you found a plugin recently that you felt like was a game changer? Before I copy this sound over, I'm gonna go humanize some stuff here. Where's the humanize? Here we go. We awesome, 8-bit, thanks. I sure what happened to this this last chord? Where'd it go? Honestly, bro. If how good is how good is Sound Goodizer? Because I feel like it's kind of a meme. Oh shoot, this chord was here the whole time. Didn't. Oh, great. That's one thing I don't really like about... There's this random control that hides your tracks. I just realized something. Wait a second. Are these settings a different font than they used to be? Or am I tripping? What is the font of this kind of stuff? Oh no, that's not a different font. I thought that they changed the font. Let's figure that out. it for the very first time today. Onya. I feel like if I had FL Studio, or if I was even like able to use it for a couple of days, I'd want to try to experiment with all those really iconic things. Yeah, I was listening to his album this morning. I only actually listened to one of his songs on the album before I just had to turn it off, but I thought it was good. What do you guys think? Are you a fan? I listened to one song that was really, really good. It was very different than I remember him being. I feel like he was always like really, really intense. And I mean, I'm not saying that he has to be intense on every single one of his songs, but I feel like his most famous songs are super intense. Try that out. I'm just gonna copy the first one over, because that first one is nice. Okay, so now I'm gonna get a little bit of some delay in here, so I can get some like interesting kind of textures. I actually don't know where the release, the frequent, the. I'm not a huge fan of that delay plugin at this moment. It was free for a short amount of time, so I got it. But there's just so many buttons on there, and it's just so confusing. This plugin, because it's super easy to use, it sounds nice. How often do you work with vocals, 8-bit? Just curious. So I don't really work with vocals very often. Okay, I'm liking this one. I'm liking this melody. And you changed studios recently, A-Bet, right? Like I'm saying like 3 months ago or so? Okay, let's see. I'm going to record this to an audio file so that I can work with, what should we call this? I'll call it bitten wave. And basically my idea is that I'm going to just do some effects with it just to have some things a little bit more interesting. Shoot. I have any audio for some reason. Oh, that's because I didn't select everything correctly. So like that. Let's see what we got here. Who else is waiting for a parametric EQ3 on FL Studio? I had no idea they were going to make a EQ3. Here's a question. What are they going to add to the EQ to make it better? I know that they have, like, the frequency spectrum is a little bit strange on their EQ, but it's not like bad. It's like all those red lines, you know? I don't think it's bad that way. I haven't used it, so maybe I doubt it's confusing. I'm gonna chop up this. I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna copy this note over, reverse it. Like, what exactly do they need our new EQ for? Another one here. Okay. So you just kept buying equipment until you had enough to make a full studio. And then once you finally did have enough stuff, then you moved into a different room. Okay, what's your guys' opinion on sound treatment? Because you can more or less buy, I mean, you can more or less make sound treatment for relatively cheap. I'm actually not a big fan of all those reverses. I wonder if I can get a preset in a VST that can do that for me. And then have like a dry wet knob. I think I can actually. Like chain preset. There's a little bit of motion to it. I'm actually going to get another one of those double glitches. Cool. What is your opinion on sound treatment and stuff like that? Because I think you can like more or less build sound treatment. Like if you buy all the equipment from places and sound treat it yourself. Like I know there's one YouTuber who I watch. He has about 10,000 subscribers who just did that in his room. And I'm just wondering kind of like, how does it... I just wonder, like, what is the difference? I'm sure there is a difference. I'm sure there is a difference. And it's possible that he put the sound treatment because he wants to have a little bit better audio for his videos or something like that. But I know it, like, reduces reflections. But is there, like, a special certain way to, like, make it so it doesn't cut down on the low frequencies and only cuts down the highs, something like that? Or I don't really know, like, is there, like, super special fancy things you got to do? Because I'm like, sure, I guarantee that it makes a difference. I'm just wondering what kind of things are there, specific things you got to do. Yeah, that makes sense with the vocals. I'm just, yeah. Maybe, am I overthinking it by thinking that you have to have, like, certain types of, like, densities in order to keep your balance response, like, your frequency response balanced? Or am I just overthinking it? Yeah, I wasn't intending on getting anything foam, because I've heard a lot of bad things about foam. This is important if you plan to bring Adele for the start. A bit of foam on the walls would do work. What do you mean by Adele? Like, define that maybe? I've never really heard the term. Yeah, send me that, Pirate Beats. It's interesting. I didn't realize that you were part of that Patreon thing. It's kind of interesting thinking about. I feel like, and absolutely do not take me as, like, discrediting him at all in any sense, but I really respect the idea of his effort to try to make this sort of as, like, a business for him, because he puts a lot of time into it for sure, and I think that he should be kind of rewarded for his time. But I've just kind of, like, wondered, this is actually, like, doing for him. Because, like, we have relatively similar number of subscribers. He has, like, about 1,000 more than me, but that's going to be, I'm going to get those 1,000 in, like, a month. And there's going to be a time soon where we're a similar number of subscribers. And I just wonder, does monetizing so early, like, he has, like, a merch store, he has Patreon and stuff like that, does monetizing so early help him or his channel or is it just kind of a source of quick income? Like, I'm wondering, like, would monetizing later be more beneficial than monetizing as soon as possible? I'm just curious. What's the best mic? The best mic is the one you got. Don't know who said that one originally, but that quote has been said over and over and over. I don't got an amazing microphone, but I don't have an amazing studio either. So, bam. If you're curious about my equipment, it's in the it's in the description. Haven't really used this kit yet. Woo! I like that kick a lot, actually. Ooh! I might not. I might just have another favorite kick drum. By the way, I think this beat is clipping. Wow, that kick drum is really good. It was this kit was recommended to me by Holy's last video. Let's get some hi-hats in here. I'm liking this beat a lot more than I liked the last beat. This kit is really good. We got some solid sounds in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a two-step here, and then as soon as I finish with that two-step, I'm gonna immediately delete as many notes as possible in order to make sure that there's a really good groove with that, and then I'm gonna put some rolls in there. Bongonzo, just so you know, I sent some samples to your email. Oh, cool. By the way, guys, what do you guys think about my contest next week? I'm doing a contest where you guys gotta send in melody samples that you made yourself, and I'm gonna be rating the best ones. But the idea is that at the end of the whole contest, I'm going to give away all of the samples that we made for free. I really want this to be like a humongous sample pack. Like, I really want to give away like a sample pack that's like 300 samples to like the general community. That's all made from you guys, and I think that'd be really, really awesome to have the entire community have that sample pack. I'm just wondering about the logistics. Like, are people going to just find samples online and then just send them to me and pretend like they made them themselves? Like, I really don't want this to have any copyright issues, but I'm kind of have to go by people's word. Okay, I don't know. To be honest, I'm very new to the YouTube community, and also don't monetize anything on here. I just like to make music and have fun. I record local talent sometimes on the side for money, but that's about it. Yeah, and everyone has their own style. I'm not saying that. I am absolutely not saying the Home Studio Sim side is ripping anyone off. I am 100% not saying that. I fully agree and respect his decision to do that. I'm just curious that from another creator to him, like I'm another creator and he's a creator. I'm wondering if his decision is right for everyone. I'm not judging his decision. I'm just wondering if that decision is right for everyone, especially me, because I'm thinking myself, obviously. I don't want for a second there to think that Home Studio Simplified is doing something wrong, or that he isn't good, or that he's a scam artist or anything like that. 100% fully will support whatever he decides is best for him. It's just a thing to think about. I'm gonna click on one of these. No, I don't think he's making a killing either. But that's what I'm kind of thinking about. Like, would him starting the Patreon now, like, I'm thinking, like, if he starts the Patreon right now, or let's not even talk about him, because talking about just him kind of makes it sound like I'm accusing him of something. Let's say this other random YouTube channel with around 5,000 subscribers starts a Patreon. Would them starting Patreon with 5,000 subscribers be, and then having that Patreon run their entire, like, the rest of their career, be more or less beneficial than someone with 15,000 subscribers starting a Patreon, and then having all 15,000 of those subscribers, or at least as many of them are consistent and dedicated subscribers? Would starting it later have a more, like, influx in people coming over? That's what I'm wondering about. I'm just wondering even if that's even a thing. Because there are, like, plenty of, like, huge people. Like, if you listen to Gary Vee, like, Gary Vee will always talk about how to try to stay, if you don't need the income, try to stay as pure as possible for as long as possible. Yeah, exactly, a bit. Because, like, having 11 Patreon members, I wonder if that's even worth your time almost. Like, of course it is, because you want to be the best you can for those people. But I wonder if starting it later would mean that more people are willing to join in, and also more people are willing to trust you and stuff like that. Because, like, he even started a merch store, and that's when I really started realizing, like, is there actually something going on here? Like, is this actually a good idea, or is this he just trying to, I don't know. But I also do know there is also something to be said about the fact that he lost his job recently. He just now got a new job, but he did lose his job right before he started going ham on YouTube. Like, when I first found him, he was about the same size as me. And then he started going, like, really ham, like, all of a sudden doing, like, several live streams a week, a whole bunch of videos. Because apparently he lost his job. He had more time at home. That's what he told me. But I wonder if there's a point of him that was kind of thinking, like, maybe I could actually turn this YouTube into, like, a little side business, instead of just thinking of it as a small, every once in a while hobby. 4K per month is like what I make at my regular job. Really? 4K a month. That would be like almost 68,000 a year. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. When you monetize something, that there comes pressure and expectations and obligations, things that take away from the creative process. Very true, Pirate Beats. Very true. Very true. Yeah, that's why I haven't really monetized much of anything yet at this point. Because I kind of want to just stay in the pure state of making beats because I like to make beats. And when I think that I am at, I don't know. It's kind of, because making beats to sell beats is very different than making beats to make beats. You know what I mean? Because like there's some plenty of people who are on my streams that are like, oh, you should totally sell these beats, these are fire, dude, you're so fire. And I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, yeah, maybe people would buy them, maybe they would, but I don't know if I want to put myself into the position of trying to please a whole bunch of customers that I don't really need right now. I'm not desperate for a whole bunch of money. I'm only 16. And maybe if I'm 19, I'm in college, and I want a little bit of side money for some afternoons or some activities, something like that, then maybe selling beats would be fine. But at the moment, I don't need money. So why should I put a whole bunch of pressure on myself to try to force myself to get people to buy from me? That's just going to put more pressure, more stress, and stuff like that on me. I'm not saying I won't, but I'm saying that now is not the time. I think I need to chill on the 808s. I've decided recently to skip tutorials on YouTube and just go creative common beats and live streams at 3 to 4 times a week. So we'll see. Yep, that's perfectly fine, 8-bit. Whatever suits your fancy. You've got your own thing going, man. I don't see any reason why you need to mess with it. You're growing. Exactly. And that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be, Pirate Beats. That's exactly where I want to be. But I also do think that there is something to be said about the people who are saying that I should sell my beats are the people who are producing for 5 weeks or producing for like 2 weeks and they already trying to sell their beats on BeatStars. Like there is something to be said about having just the experience of making beats. I remember there's just one guy on my Discord server, and he immediately came onto my YouTube on my Discord server, and he was talking about how he was having such a hard time making beats because this is his first time making beats on ever, and he was using Cakewalk for the very first time. And I'm like, well, how long have you been producing for music? And he's like, I started producing yesterday. And I'm like, oh really? And then literally like 5 days later, he then said like, hey, Bongonzo, can you check out my ear? And I post my first beat on there. And then I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, this is the first beat you've ever made in your entire life. And you're trying to sell it to someone for $5. Like that's, and I haven't heard from him in years. Like I haven't heard from him in months. Like it sounds like he just stopped producing music. And I think that's just kind of because I'm not sure. I think he's kind of saw the money of making music, but he didn't realize that it actually takes work to make music. Speed this up quite a bit. Hey 1010, how you doing? I think I got so distracted from that conversation that I lost the vibe that I was making. I forgot where I was heading. Okay, here's how you do it. 1010. Watch my video on how to pitch 808s and hi-hats in Cakewalk at Bandlab so that you can get this plugin right here. This is complete control. Hit this little cogwheel here that's like kind of a settings button. And then it opens up this like big interface right here. Change polyphonic from 8 to legato and then turn up this little slide knob here. And then just like that, you're able to do 808 slides. So you just, what you want to do is overlap two notes. Like for example, if I'm going like this, from E flat to an E flat. So I'm going to slide down to this note down here. So something like that. That's a slide right there. And it works pretty nice. Complete control has it built in right there. I'm not going to use that right now. And I'm feeling, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I kind of rushed through that description of how to pitch 808s. If there's any questions you have there, I'll totally answer them. Felt like I was kind of like abrupt there in that explanation. Probably should have taken my time and kind of explained it more gently. Yeah, actually I had a neighbor on my street. This was actually before I even started producing music. And he was just like, yeah, this morning I got this program called FL Studio on my new laptop. And because I just realized like there are so many people out there who are making so much money. And I was just like, I saw this thing on YouTube that's not very hard, so now I'm just trying it out, and it's kind of fun. And then like literally like I started producing music like 3 months later, and then I asked him if he's still doing it, and he's like, no, I kind of quit that a long time ago. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, I was using GarageBand at the time, and he bought like a $100 like program, and then like never used it. Yeah, welcome. Well, welcome, 1010. And I absolutely don't, in no way I want to say that Home Studio Simplified is only in it for the money. I'm not accusing him of anything. I was just asking a hypothetical question. And now we're talking about someone new. But I will be honest, there are things that I've done that in before. Not necessarily just for the money, but something where I've been like so absolutely passionate about something, and I thought this was like a great idea for me to get going, and then as soon as I started, I'm like, oh, this is not for me. There's this one like guitar app that I used one time that I was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome, it's gonna be so much fun, and then as soon as I actually like paid like $30 for it, I started playing with it, and I'm like, wow, this is really bad. So I'm not saying that it's bad for him to quit so early. I'm just saying that it was bad for him to think that music is the only. I felt like it was bad for him to think of music as a quick, easy way to make money. I wonder if I can switch up this melody a little bit. Like, what if I do my classic? Move this to the end. Is there an easy plugin or is there an easy plugin to find the key of your beat? I have heard there's this one software out there that people use to like put their songs in that software and automatically tells them what key your thing is in. Personally, I've never used it. I think it's actually pretty expensive, so I've never even considered using it. Personally, I just kind of like do everything by ear until it all kind of works all together. So I wouldn't be able to answer that question. Very true, Pirate. Everyone has their own way. Everyone has their own path. I'm still using GarageBand, but I've watched Bongonzo make the transition from GarageBand and Cakewalk, and now I want to. A free halftime plugin. No such thing. There is one thing to say though. You can do halftime by cutting things and stretching them and pitching things down an octave. There are ways to do that by hand, but you don't have the same effect because you don't have like inside halftime. I don't actually have halftime open right now, but there's like a dry wet knob. There's like certain frequencies that you can have halftime on and certain frequencies you don't have halftime on. So halftime, if you're looking for a free alternative to halftime itself, not Shaperbox, halftime itself is only like $15. So, although you can do it by hand and it sounds good by hand, just to be honest, like it sounds good by hand. If you want the true plugin, it's only like $15, which is more or less nothing for the endless new melodies you can make with it. Hey, to die for. Okay, now I'm going to make a copy of this sound, pitch it up an octave, see what it sounds like. Yeah, there's really no free alternative. I looked far and wide, and especially when I was first thinking about it, and then I finally just said, you know, Shaperbox is probably worth it, and I just got the whole thing. Like, I will say that I recommend Shaperbox. It's actually a really amazing plugin. I really recommend getting it, but if you're looking for a free alternative, like, if you're looking for a free alternative, you're probably not going to be interested in paying like $150 for a plugin. Yeah, exactly, IC Beats. Yeah, here's one thing to do. Like, I'm gonna pull open a piano, and I think this might be what I'm pretty sure this is what IC Beats is talking about. But let me kind of show you how I would go about finding the key for this melody. If I was really determined to get to the key. To be honest, a lot of times I don't even think about the key, I just start making the beat. But let's say I really wanted to find the key of this melody, and I wanted to be able to like label it as like A minor or something like that. Here's what I'm gonna do. So I know that B flat works. Sounds good. Those two notes sound good. All those notes sounded good. And I don't know if you were able to come up with that so quickly, but if you just know what scales kind of like feel like, you'll kind of just understand how to get to something like that. I was able to quickly figure out that those three notes went together well, and I also noticed quickly that the A flat sounds good in the scale, which means that it's not a major scale, because majors have a that's what a major scale would sound like, and a major scale ends with a, but since I had a that means that it's a minor or a harmonic minor. And then if you just kind of listen to it, sounds like a harmonic minor. I'm not really sure what a normal minor would sound like. I'm not actually sure what a normal minor scale would look like, but that's how I figured it out. So the key is just to like look for a one note that works and then just kind of keep going after that. Okay, this beat is pretty fire. I'm going to turn up the submit your beats to bongonzo@gmail.com for live beat critique. What should I add to this? Is there like one sound that I could add to this to make it sound fire? Like maybe I can look in like one shots, like some like texture kind of stuff. Box. No, that was actually that clicking was just my computer not being able to handle Cakewalk and a live stream at the same time. Quantize that. You can really hear the clicking now. Stop clicking. I'll copy that over. And then what I'm actually going to do is I'm gonna make these notes a little bit longer. Then I'm going to throw an arpeggiator on it. I'll join them all together. Then throw an arpeggiator on it. First I gotta make sure these notes don't overlap. Join that together. Pirate Beats in the building. He is too good to us. Pirate Beats is probably by far our biggest donator by this time. Have a good day, Pirate Beats. You have no idea how much it means to me that I can just sit in this chair, do what I love to do, now, but then you guys still show up and are there for me anyway. I wish nothing but the best for you. You're amazing, dude. And just in general, like it was just good to talk with you. You had good insights. Really means a lot. I'm gonna do some transposing. That's pretty cool sound. That's pretty cool sound. Listen to this. Kind of extended in a way. way, can we get some big congratulations from people in the chat saying thank you to the Pyre Beats? Alrighty then. I'm gonna check out some of your guys. And then we'll end the stream right there. Check out the beats and the beats critique. Gabriel, go check your beats. There are no birds. Nice. Love that chord. I really love the vibe here. It reminds me of something from like Andrew Huan and all of his like really experimental lo-fi stuff. Really excellent job, Gabriel. I don't even know you're here, but everything just sounds really, really clean. Everything goes together well. Your melodies sound very nice. I love your D-tune, your little D-tune you have there. Everything is mixed very well. Every single sound is selected well. I'm just gonna say good job. Nothing really I can say to that. Okay, here's some samples that I sent you. 5 better chance of finding what you like. Sounds good. Should I flip them and send you the final beat? I would really like to have us both flip the same sample and chop it up into beat. Okay. Message sent. BRT, here we go. Let's read this long title again. Icy Beats dash Juice WRLD Wizard 511155 probably BPM C# minor hard melancholic guitar .mp3. Really nice 808. I like your perks and your bounciness of that stuff. This is really, really, really good. Icy Beats is legit. I wonder if he has a YouTube channel. Icy Beats. Sorted by channel. I feel like he really should have a channel. His stuff is really, really good. Oh, is this it right here? I think this is a channel. I'm gonna subscribe because I'm pretty sure. Let me look through the video, see if I've ever listened to any of them. Huh? I don't know if this is your channel. Is this your channel? Oh. How similar your logos are. IZ Beats. Oh, IC Beats with a Z at the end of that thing. Okay, got it. I see. Alrighty. What? Oh yeah, this is your channel. Sorry. Nice. I subscribed. I'll be checking out your stuff later. Let's look at this one. Really love that violin you have there. Or the flute, whatever is that sound in the background.
Hey, Icy Warm Bands.
The 808 is really, really, really good. It might be a little bit loud, but it's really, really, really good distortion. Everything's sitting really nicely. I also really like your perks, and I also really like your open hat. Your open hat is really, really crispy. Yeah, it's a good beat. I really have a hard time critiquing good beats because all I can say is it's good. The melody is catchy. I can hear a rapper on that one for sure. I wonder. You posted a video 2 days ago, but before that you had 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. I wonder, maybe there's something going on, like maybe you just were really busy or out of town or something like that. Maybe a few more beats just in general would be good. I don't know. Build up your repertoire. But other than that, like I can't see anything going on. You're doing good, Icy Beats. It's only a matter of time. Roko, here we go. Really like this one. I feel like there could be a little bit more of 808 if there isn't. I don't know if you have a bass down there, but that kick drum is just asking for a really dirty 808. Sounds really nice. Also, actually, to be honest, that little synth bass there is also really awesome. Never mind that. I think you're actually good. This is good. I don't think you should have done that siren that second time, the pitch down. That time. Yeah, I think if you didn't have that pitching of the siren, it would be really, really cool. I'm really liking this beat. Like, I really love the melodies. I like how orchestral and like spooky kind of sounds. You're really spot on with like the feeling or the vibe of the beat. Hey, Electric Phoenix, how you doing? I like the snare that you chose, the kind of like chill, like almost side stick kind of thing. Everything is sounding good in this beat except for that siren. I think you could have done without the siren. Just like let it play once, maybe have a little bit of reverb on it so it just kind of like extends, and then just let it play, and then just let the whole rest of the beat be out like kind of like orchestral. Other than that, great kick choice, great hi-hat choice, great snare choice, great everything patterns. I think that's the end of the stream right here. Okie dokie, artichokes. Ease. I wonder if this actually sound better if I had the shaper box as like this speed. Yeah, that actually sounds better. In order to keep it so that it doesn't like always, so it's not changing pitch so much. I'm doing good today. Now that I added that share box and these two tracks are exactly identical, I think that sounds better. Just keeps everything on the same tone. Yeah, it definitely sounds a lot better. See you guys later. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the stream. You guys are too good for me. We're almost to 5K, believe it or not. Wait, are we? Yeah, wait. We're almost to 4K. I don't even look at the analytics. Yeah, we're almost to 4K, which is almost to 5K. It is insane to even think about 4,000 people finding my face and saying he's worth listening to. You guys are way too good for me. Way too good for me. Way too good for me. See you guys later. You guys are too good to me.